Hello everybody, Naughty Nana does. Look at us, front porch sitting. Isn't it wonderful? It is fabulous. You can still see some snow and stuff around us. Not too much, but there's a bunch out there, I'm just saying. There's a bunch. So anyway, here we are doing our front porch sitting, which is pretty amazing, I must say. Now today I want to talk about Ron Mussolini DeSantis, or Ron Viktor Orban DeSantis. Now, both of these guys claim that they want democracy. But the two of them, two peas in a pod, that's what they are. Neither one of them are nice guys. I'm just saying. They put on the smiley face as they're sticking the knife in your back. That's what they do. Now, in 2021, Mr. Orban, his far right-wing government passed a law cracking down on LGBTQ rights, including prohibiting the sex education and LGBTQ instruction in an effort to prevent the gays from preying on children. But that's not happening, and anybody with a rational goddamn mind knows that's true. So, what did Ron Viktor Orban say? Ron says, don't say gay, which is targeting gays and trans people. Now, he passed his bill a year later, April 21st, 2022. So this has been over a year that this horseshit has been going on. Now, he passed a bill where if a trans child lives, this is the new one he wants to pass, above and beyond don't say gay. If a trans child lives in a house with straight siblings, child services can remove that child and detransition them. That's what he wants to put through now. And then if there's a trans parent in the house, all the kids are removed. Right? That sounds a little about Alpha Hotel. Don't want to say his name on here because I don't want my channel ruined. But it's the little guy that he's had the mustache. Yeah, Alpha Hotel. That guy. Just like him. Now, Orban says that the gays are an alleged cultural threat from the left, which justifies his aggressive uses of state power against the rights of the enemy. Really? When were the gays kicking up shit and saying, don't do this, don't do that, just give me my fair share? That's all they want. They just want fair. They don't want more. They just want fair and the same rights everybody else has. Then Ron DeSantis, his press secretary, or Pushaw there, whoever the hell that is, she says, we are watching all the Hungarians. So, yay hungry, anti-grooming bills, and if you're against the bill, you're probably a groomer. I'm just saying, most of those people, like there's a Tennessee governor right now that has actually have 23 counts, but he's still sitting there in the house. Figure that one out. Pretty sure that he's not trans or gay. Just saying. And now, what Orban's doing is turning what used to be a policy into a tool for targeting outgroups while deepening his hold on his party's power, because it's all about the power. So Ronnie does a crackdown on Disney's special tax exemption to punish them for going against his Don't Say Gay bill. Orban claims he's for democracy, but in name only. That's me putting that in there. That's not out of his big mouth. Ron DeSantis has this authoritarian shift, is accelerating because he has no interest in moderation. Because as he says, I'm the new sheriff in town. That should shake people to their fucking core. I'm just saying. Now, Orban says he wants to make any interest group that he doesn't like, he's going to make them the enemy and tell everyone, see how evil they are? See how evil? And their influence and everything on everybody to justify his policies. Him and Ron DeSantis, they want to regulate media, programming, immigrants, blacks, wants to cut out women's studies, AP Black History, AP Hispanic History, Jewish Holocaust History. Journalists will be arrested for and imprisoned for talking about the government. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? If you don't agree with your government, you're allowed to speak up and say, hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? We voted for you. You shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, well, those rights are going to be taken away. And Orban has taken aim at textbooks K through 12 expressly for political ground. Ron DeSantis is taking over universities and overseeing what is to be taught and definitely what is not to be taught, i.e. gender studies. He knows that everybody's included in that, right? But no. I figure if your kids and the parents out there are paying tens of thousands of dollars, $30,000, $40,000 a year to send your kids to university, they should be able to study whatever the fuck they like. And it shouldn't be a government's choice. Just saying. You want to pay to learn about gender studies? You want to pay to do Black history? Have at it. That's what I'm saying. Now, Victor's longtime ally called him a name. Apparently it wasn't a very nice name. But anyway, he called him a name, so Victor had to retaliate against this one-time friend and businessman by cutting his advertising in his media outlets. Yep, just said you can't advertise that, you can't do this, you can't do that, and shifted contracts away from this man's construction business. Disney, it says any backlash from corporations, this is Ron DeSantis, he's curtailing teachers' speech, and any backlash from corporations is justification for taking his citizens' rights away. It's justification to do that. That's right. Disney and other woke corporations won't get away with peddling their unchecked pressure campaigns any longer. Stop Woke Act, that's his new wrinkle, regulates what professors are allowed to teach about race, gender, women's rights, Holocaust. House Bill 7 sweeps away most of your First Amendment rights. And the teachers. Yeah. Now, Viktor Orban, he said his universities are banned from teaching gender studies and those types of courses. And if a professor's caught teaching those, he will have his accreditation removed. That's right. He's already forced a top European university, liberal arts university, he's already forced them out of the country. You want to know why? Because a man named George Soros founded the university. Only reason. So, now, state power, this is Ron now, state power should be wielded to prevent professors from indoctrinating students, which we all know is total horseshit, right? They're teaching kids about what's going on around them this day and age. Not back in the 40s and 50s and 60s when I grew up in the 50s and 60s. Because times, my dear, are a-changing. I'm just saying. So, the justice minister in Hungary wants to regulate the Hungarian operations of large tech companies because of their restrictions on conservative Christian right-wing opinions. Doesn't matter that they're evil, they're hurting people and everything else, but no, he's going to punish those media corporations. Florida State Bill 7072 gives state regulators more power to fine social media companies if state authorities determine they improperly deplatformed a political candidate for office. So much for speaking your mind in Florida, people. I think they should have all the Democrats move out, put a fence around them, and see how they're going to survive after that. Going to need a passport to get into Florida, if I had my way. Just saying. Little authoritarian? Maybe. But you can't be shoving your shit down everybody else's throat and expect them to sit there and take it. Just saying. Now, in 2010, Victor's party created a new set of single-member districts that give his supporters an outside representation in Parliament. His last election, he won 53 out of 83 seats. 53 out of 83. Including, in Budapest, 98% of the seats in Budapest are his Viktor's party. That's right. Now, DeSantis himself, check this out. I don't know if you know this or not, but this floored me. DeSantis himself rejected the congressional map drawn by his Republican legislature. So instead, he said, no, that's not going to happen. We're doing it this way. Instead, he insisted on new maps that would give the Republican Party a substantial leg up on all House elections. So what did they do? They bent to his wishes. Oh, Governor Ron there. Go Governor Ron. They complied. New maps were drawn that are so obviously biased and racist that they can swing the national House bias by a full point. Quaking in your boots yet? Now, both of these guys are using culture and the need to wage war against it, and they're using their state power to do it. Nice, eh? Now, they both say they're fighting for the ordinary citizens. You know, the blue-collar guys. The guys that are actually putting in the work and building shit and all the rest of the stuff. Yeah, that's what they say they're in. They're fighting for the ordinary citizen guy against a corrupt, immoral, left-wing, cosmopolitan elite. Look, I'm a left. Who the hell? What's a left anyway? I'm more democratic than I am anything else. But you know what? I know what's right and what's wrong, and I know when you're hurting people. It doesn't have to be a left or a right thing. When you're hurting somebody and being a bully and an asshole, you deserve to be brought up on the carpet for it. That's what I'm saying. Now, they figured that they have to defeat this influence and defend traditional values. Well, you know what? Tradition kind of went out the window when we started burning our bras and marching for rights for everybody in the 60s. That's right. The suffragettes in 1918, getting a vote for everybody. That wasn't traditional values then, burning our bras for our freedom and liberating women. That wasn't traditional values. Guess what? That's our traditional values in this day and age. The way we're living our life, the way these new kids are seeing the world. You can't squash their brain. They're going to think shit. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. And they're going to fight against this bullshit. I'm just saying. These kids aren't stupid these days. They're a lot smarter than we were. And DeSantis, don't get me started on him having his standalone police force. Oh my God, that's a bunch of stuff for another day. But he wants to round up, he's got a election defense force there that wants to round up non-existent voter fraud people. But you know what? Everybody that they found committing voter fraud in the Florida election were all Republicans. That's right, voting for dead people. Yeah, putting in 2 votes. They were all Republicans, every single one of them. So don't get me started on that. And they charged the taxpayers $2.5 million for that budget. So anyway, that's my deal on that. So anyway, front porch sitting, people. Naughty Nan loves you. Be good, be safe, be good to you so you can be good to somebody else. Have a kind word for somebody today, won't you? I know I haven't been too kind to old Ron DeSantis, but does he deserve it? Not today. Sorry, Ronnie. You don't deserve it today. You're in time out. Naughty Nana loves you. Don't forget to subscribe. Mwah. Be good to you.